This video should help you with dividing a fraction by a fraction. You notice we're taking 3/4 divided by 1/4, which what I'm really saying is how many 1/4 are there in 3/4? You can kind of think this way. If I started with 3/4 of a pizza, and I want to know how many 1/4 pieces there are in there. Well, there's 1, and 2, and 3. So this should end up with an answer of 3. Let's try it out doing the keep, change, flip method. So I'm going to keep the 3/4, change the sign, flip the 1/4 over to 4 over 1. Top times top, 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 1 equals 4. Divide it. 12 divided by 4 goes 3 times. No remainder. So my answer just equals 3, just like what we got when we were doing the picture. And it kind of makes sense to you. You're saying how many quarters are there in 3/4? Well, there's only 3 of them. Try this one. We're going to keep, change, flip again. 8/10 I keep, change the sign. Flip 1/5 to 5 over 1. 8 times 5 is 40. 10 times 1 equals 10. 40 divided by 10, it goes 4 times. And there's no remainder, so my answer is just 4. 1/2 divided by 1/6. I'll remember again, I'm thinking how many 6ths are there in 1/2? How many 6 pounds are there in 1/2 of a pound? So I'm going to keep, change, and flip. Keep the half, change the sign. Flip the 1/6 to 6 over 1. Top times top, 6. Bottom times bottom, 2. 6 divided by 2 goes 3 times. Nothing left over, so my answer is just 3. There would be 3/6 in 1/2, which makes sense because 3/6 is the same as 1/2. 3/8 divided by 2/3. I'm saying how many 2/3 are there in 3/8? Which seems kind of interesting because 2/3 is bigger than 3/8. So this answer should come out less than 1. Let's see what happens. Keep, change, flip. Keep the 3/8, change the sign. Flip 2/3 over to 3/2. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 times 2 is 16. Can't divide by 10, 5, or 2. Can't divide by 3 because it's not when I do the 3 song. And notice my answer is less than 1, 9/16. So if I start with the fraction and I divide it by a bigger fraction, I'm going to end up with an answer less than 1 every time. Here's a couple for you to try out. All right, remember we're keep, change, flip. Not KFC. Keep the 5/8, change the sign. Flip it over to 8 over 1. 5 times 8 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8. 40 divided by 8, it goes 5 times. No remainder, so it just equals 5. 1/2 divided by 10. Keep, change, flip. Keep the half, change the sign. Flip the 1/10 to 10 over 1. 1 times 10, 2 times 1. 10 divided by 2, just a big old 5. Stop the video when you try it out. Keep, change, flip. Top times top's a 4. 5 times 1 is a 5. 4/5, cannot simplify it any lower than that. 6/7 divided by 1/7. Keep, change, and flip. Change the sign. Flip this over to 7 over 1. 6 times 7 is 42. 7 times 1 is 7. Got an improper fraction, so I'm going to take 42 divided by 7. Well, I'm pretty sure right back here we just did 6 times 7, and it was 42. So it's going to go exactly 6 times with nothing left over. So my answer is 6. Of course, if I have 6/7 and I break them into 1/7 pieces, I'm going to end up with 6 of them. 2/7 divided by 2/7. This makes sense to me that it should be 1 right away because I'm taking a number and dividing it by the same number. So let's see what happens. Keep it, change my sign, flip it from 2/7 to 7 over 2. And then do my multiplying. Top times top, 14. Bottom times bottom, 14. 14 divided by 14 equals 1. So if I take a fraction and divide it by the same fraction, I'm going to get 1. Because if I take any number and divide it by the same number, I'm going to get 1. 9/10 divided by 3/5. Keep it, change it, flip it. 9 times 5 is 45. 10 times 3 is 30. We have an improper fraction with some really big numbers, but it's not going to be that tough to divide. How many 30s in 4? Obviously none. How many 30s in 45? Well, if I counted by 30s, 30, 60, that would already be too much, so there's only 1. 1 times 30 equals 30. Subtract, there's 15 for a remainder. Bringing that 30 over there. So the answer is 1 and 15/30ths. And I know there's some people out in the audience right now going, wait a second, 15 is exactly half of 30. So if I divided them both by 15, I should end up with still a big 1, because that just comes over. 15 divided by 15 is 1. 30 divided by 15 is 2. So I would get 1.5. Couple more for you to try out. Keep it, change it, flip it. Top times top, 20. Bottom times bottom, 5. 20 divided by 5 goes 4 times. Equals 20. No remainder, so my answer is just going to be 4. Again, take a look at it. If I start with 4/5, I want to know how many 1/5 pieces are in there. There's going to be 4 of them, because a fifth plus a fifth plus a fifth plus a fifth equals 4/5. 1/2 divided by 1/8. Keep it, change it, flip it. 1 times 8. 2 times 1, 8 divided by 2. Should be able to do that in my head. It's just a 4. Try out a couple story problems. How many quarter pounders can you make from 3/4 of a pound of ground beef? Okay, what am I starting with? I know it's not first in the story problem, but this is what I'm starting with. Because how many can you make from? So I'm starting with 3/4 of a pound. I want to make quarter pounders, which is 1/4. So I'm wanting to say, how many 1/4 are there in 3/4? I think we did this problem earlier. So I'm going to keep this, change it, flip it. Flip the 1/4 over to 4/1. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 1 equals 4. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. So I could make 3 quarter pounders if I had 3/4 of a pound of ground beef. Greg has a half gallon of milk left. His kitten drinks 1/8 of a gallon each day. How many days milk does Greg still have? You try it out. Okay. What am I starting with? The 1/2. And I'm splitting the half gallon into 1/8 containers, basically, because the cat drinks 1/8 of the gallon each day. How many days would that last? So we're to keep, change, flip again. I'm going to keep the half, change the sign, flip the 1/8 to 8/1. And say 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 1 is 2. It's just going to give me 4 days. If you didn't like it that way, you could kind of think of it this way. Greg's got a half gallon of milk. He's going to give his cat 1/8 of a gallon every day. So here's day number 1. Here's day number 2, day number 3, and day number 4. And those two happen to be equal, so it's still going to take 4 days. Next one, last one for today. Grandpa has half of a colossal pizza left, which means it's a really giant pizza. The information on the side of the box says that 1/12 of a colossal pizza is a serving. How many servings are left? So what did I start with, the 1/2 or the 1/12? I started with the 1/12 because he said, or 1/2 because it said that's what was left. So I'm taking 1/2, dividing it by 1/12. Keep, change, flip. So 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 1 is 2, 12 over 2 equals 12 divided by 2, goes 6 times, nothing left over, so there would be 6 servings if you had half of a colossal pizza left. And that's how I would do fractions divided by fractions.